What I was going to say is there's four things in my mind that Steve talked about and Ron talked about. What happens if someone wants to leave voluntarily? And that, for a group sitting down, if we were business owners, is sometimes difficult. What you would do there potentially is start a kiddie fund or some amount of money that would go to buy that person out if they voluntarily want to leave or retire. The other one is if you're disabled.
That's a
This
big
could
one.
be a tough one. And with that situation is if your partner is disabled and let's say he can't work anymore, you're now giving him distributions and you have to give it to him and he's not helping with the business. So there's solutions for all these things. The other one is if they die, right? So someone dies, you need to have that covered, but you also need to have a fund that will pay out the person. So for instance, Ron and I have been business partners for over 30 years. If I die, then he buys my stock out with a life insurance policy, and then he owns all the stock so that he doesn't have to worry about working with other family members or in-laws or whoever. Same thing with me is I have a policy on Ron that's called cross purchase. So if Ron dies, I get cash in and buy Ron's share, which is good for him because it protects his family. Because let's say I didn't want to sell and Debbie needed money. This way it's even if it's a down payment. So those are two ways it could be insured. Two ways we could solve the problem with a piece of paper and some ink, right? It's called a disability buyout or it's called a life insurance buyout. So on disability, we have a policy that if he's disabled for more than a year, the policy kicks in with a lump sum and a monthly amount to take him out of the business.
And what would you use those funds for? You'd use those funds to help
Well, I need to
facilitate his
replace
absence.
Ron.
You'd have to replace him.
Replace him, which I can't. Everyone knows Ron's irreplaceable. But it's the same thing that you talk about. You're going to have enough problems not having a good partner. You don't want it to be money problems that could tank the whole business, and more importantly, your employees. Because I always feel like I cared. We had the same employees for 30 years. We had to make sure that company's strong so they still have a place to go to work.